Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, new legislation could kill the debate over measles vaccinations.
And find out which high school soccer stars are headed to some of the most elite colleges in the U.S.
A worker strike at a South Bay refinery is just one of the reasons gas prices may be on the rise.
Plus, Torrance is the place to be with Valentine's Day just around the corner. We find out where it ranks on the list of most romantic cities. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chin.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. With the measles outbreak still on the rise, 2 California senators have announced legislation on immunization for children. Senator Ben Allen, who represents much of the west side and part of Torrance, teamed up with Senator Dr. Richard Pack of Sacramento to create a new bill that wipes out the personal belief exemption, which allows parents to withhold from having their children vaccinated. According to a recent report, more than 13,000 kindergartners have not been vaccinated, which the 2 senators say endangers not only their classmates, but the broader community. Previously, Dr. Pan had authored a law that required parents seeking personal belief exemptions to talk to a licensed healthcare practitioner. He also introduced legislation last month requiring parents be notified of their school's vaccination rate. That information is currently available online at the state's website, shotsforschool.org. In January, just over 100 cases of measles were reported nationwide, according to the CDC.
Well, new data has been pulled asking adults nationwide how they feel about vaccinations. According to a poll conducted by the Pew Research Center, 68% of adults say a childhood vaccination should be required, while 3 in 10 say that decision should be up to the parents. When the findings are broken down by age, 41% of 18 to 29-year-old adults say parents should decide whether their child is immunized for diseases such as measles. Now, that compares to 20% of adults over 65 who share this view. Pew's findings are similar to another poll by YouGov. In that survey, 43% of Americans under 30 say parents should decide about immunizations for their children. That compares to 21% of people over 65 who think vaccinations should be up to parents.
With 15 California community colleges offering 4-year degrees as part of a statewide pilot program, according to new research, it still may benefit students to enroll in 4-year universities. Joni Hirsch, a professor of law and economics, conducted a study of salaries from a range of 4-year schools to determine if attending so-called elite schools equaled out earning peers in the job market. Her findings weren't very surprising, with men who earned bachelor's degrees from the most selective universities earning around $50,000 a year, more than peers who attended less selective schools. Women in the same study are found to earn nearly $36,000 more annually when they attend similar elite schools. When asked how this would affect students pursuing 4-year degrees at community colleges, she said to expect the same results, especially at first. She says the name brand recognition of the most esteemed campuses gives employers years of observing the students that are entering the workforce. Contrary to Hirsch's findings, community college leaders expect employers to adjust easily, while state officials are set to monitor the pilot program by keeping tabs on community college grads' salaries, along with the types of jobs they are getting. The pilot program for 2-year universities to offer 4-year degrees will last until 2023, with the results by that point determining if lawmakers will renew or not.
Torrance police officers teamed up with the 2015 Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count, aiding volunteers and organizers here in Torrance. Over the course of the 3-night event, nearly 6,000 volunteers took to the streets throughout LA County, helping to identify homeless residents across the region. The biannual count, which identified 39,000 homeless men, women, and children in 2013, draws on an army of volunteers, government, and community agencies to determine the extent of homelessness across the county. Now, this will also help to get a sense of how the county's homeless population has changed in the past 2 years, and also play a role in how millions in funding are allocated. This year, Councilwoman Heidi Ashcraft assisted in the count, volunteering her time along with 45 others who took to the local streets to count specific tracts within Torrance. The Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority has been leading the LA count since it began 10 years ago.
Torrance High School's wrestling coach was put on administrative leave amid a criminal investigation into allegations that he was involved in inappropriate conduct with a student. After Thomas Snyder, the 47-year-old coach, was put on leave, Torrance High's principal emailed parents informing them of concerns brought by students. The school district, along with the school, immediately began investigating the concerns and notified the Torrance Police Department. Snyder's attorney says there is no merit to the accusations made against his client and that Snyder understands district protocols when any allegations are made against a teacher.
From Ventura down to nearby San Pedro, ocean goers made 2014 the busiest year ever for LA's beach lifeguards. 2014 saw visitors to Los Angeles County beaches soar above the 20-year average by more than 20 million people, marking the second highest amount ever. And for the county's 150 full-time and 700 part-time lifeguards, the high volume of beachgoers turned into a record year of rescues. Lifeguards logged almost 16,000 ocean rescues and responded to nearly 20,000 medical issues on their beaches. A spokesman for the LA County Lifeguard Department attributed the record year to a perfect storm of events: the state's drought caused by a severe lack of rain, record high temperatures throughout LA, and even phenomenal surf brought on by rare hurricanes are all contributing factors to the busy 2014.
Consumers have enjoyed dropping gas prices for 4 straight months, but that ride may soon be over. A spokesperson from the price monitoring website GasBuddy.com says the transition from winter blend gasoline to summer blend gasoline will drive up wholesale prices. That climb is expected to bring the average cost per gallon slightly above $3 until the summer. That news comes on the heels of a recent labor strike by almost 4,000 refinery workers in U.S. refineries, with 800 of them coming from a nearby Carson refinery. Contract negotiations between the United Steelworkers Union and Shell Oil Company brought on that labor strike, but analysts insist the job action is just one of the many factors contributing to the anticipated rise.
A longtime Torrance business closed its doors recently, making it a bittersweet goodbye. Gerber Ambulance Service, founded in 1988, has shut its doors for the last time. Owner and founder Bob Gerber and his wife Rebecca, a registered nurse, spent most of their last day in the office with employees. In 2014, the city voted to award Torrance's emergency services contract to McCormick Ambulance, sparking controversy over the city's decision. Gerber Ambulance peaked at 230 employees in 2007 when it also served the city of Santa Monica and West Los Angeles. Gerber Ambulance, based here in Torrance, was known for their charitable endeavors, donating ambulances to third world countries. The Gerbers say they plan to retire and spend more time on their ranch near Yosemite. Another local business expected to close their doors is Harbor Gateway's Farmer Brothers Company, famous for their coffee. The South Bay business announced plans of a major layoff and impending closure of their Harbor Gateway facility, impacting nearly 350 employees beginning as early as May this year. The company plans to offer severance benefits as well as transition programs to non-union affected employees in the hopes of lessening the number of affected workers. Farmer Brothers Company is located on Normandy Avenue near the 110 Harbor Freeway.
Romance must be in the air as Valentine's Day draws near. Not only are chocolates and flower sales on the rise, but so is the city's popularity when it comes to exactly that, romance. According to Mavoto, real estate's blog, among the country's mid-sized cities of 100 to 200,000 residents, Torrance was named the most romantic city, following suit were a few other California cities, including Carlsbad in second, Sunnyvale in third, Huntington Beach in fourth, Glendale in eighth, Santa Clara in ninth, and Oceanside in 10th. The list was determined based on marriage statistics and the number of flower shops, parks, romantic restaurants, and wedding planning businesses within 174 mid-sized cities. Mavoto used Yelp to gather the 4 different measures of naming a city most romantic. Torrance's best score was in the flower shop category, having an average 1 flower shop for every 2,300 people. It also boasts plenty of romantic restaurants.
Parents of peanut allergy sufferers may want to take extra care the next time they head to the grocery store. Considered one of the most widespread series of allergy-related recalls in history, hundreds of food products are being pulled due to possible peanut contamination. The recall includes nearly 30 companies with products ranging from spice mixes and breadcrumbs to more than 350,000 pounds of seasoned beef, poultry, and pork products. Morningstar Farms black bean burgers, a popular product among parents, are also included in this recall. The products were distributed through grocery stores from Texas up through the East Coast. Families who have the recalled packages in their possession should contact their place of purchase. The contamination is traced back to a cumin seasoning that Adams Flavors Foods and Ingredients produced back in late 2014 that was tied to peanut proteins. Parents of children with peanut allergies are being advised to be careful of packaged Tex-Mex and Indian foods that are likely to contain cumin.
In line with the recent peanut contamination, President Barack Obama wants to create a new government agency dedicated to keeping the nation's food safer. The proposal in the president's recent budget comes after outbreaks of illnesses linked to chicken, eggs, produce, and most recently peanuts. Currently, more than a dozen federal agencies oversee food safety, and the president, along with consumer advocates, are hoping to bring all those functions together under one roof. Currently, the Department of Agriculture oversees the safety and inspections of meat and processed eggs, while the Food and Drug Administration oversees safety of most other foods. The budget proposes consolidating the Agriculture Department's Food Safety and Inspection Service and all of FDA's food safety oversight into one new agency within the Department of Health and Human Services. The CDC estimates there are 48 million foodborne illnesses a year from contaminated foods.
In the midst of recalling cars for defective airbags, Toyota is still paying the price of one of its most infamous recalls several years later. In 2006, Koa Fong Lee was the driver of a Toyota Camry that killed 3 during a tragic crash. Lee was imprisoned for vehicular manslaughter in Minnesota, then released after a series of ABC News reports uncovered the defects in some Toyota models, causing the accelerators to stick. Now, 5 years later, after Lee's 2010 release, Toyota has been ordered to pay Lee and his family as much as $2 million. As part of the near $11 million, they are also ordered to pay the victims of that fatal crash. The verdict came from a Minneapolis jury in which they say the defective Camry was 60% responsible for Lee's 1996 car accelerating into an Oldsmobile. The automaker says there was no defect in the design of the 96 Camry, but they respect the jury's decision and will evaluate their remaining legal options. Coming up next, find out who's suiting up in soccer uniforms at West Point, Carnegie Mellon, and other elite universities.
And we have an inside look at Torrance Transit's 75th anniversary celebration.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
The city celebrated a big milestone recently, applauding a department responsible for transporting millions of commuters safely. Megan Powers takes us to the big party.
The Torrance Transit System threw a birthday party unlike any other to commemorate the department's big milestone.
Today we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of Torrance Transit. And that's really a monumental thing.
Operating their first buses in the 1940s, just on the brink of war, the celebration reflected how far the transit system has come since its humble beginnings. Operations manager Ernie Crespo has worked for the company for 2 years and is excited to be a part of the festivities.
I mean, we started with 3 little buses and now we're at 16 63 buses, and we're growing. So we're really here to just honor all the effort and time that everyone has put in for the last 75 years.
Growing indeed. Those 63 buses service more than 4 million passengers each year.
Yeah, the ridership is increasing all the time. And as, interestingly enough, when fuel was getting higher and higher, people were learning that it was much cheaper to use public transportation.
Transit Director Kim Turner is keeping the transit system up to date with the 21st century. Bus riders will now use the Transit Access Program, also known as the TAP card, to pay for their transportation. Customers received a commemorative TAP card with one free ride.
So what that means to every customer, every person that rides transit in this area, in LA County, they can ride with a TAP card, some stored value on there, an easy transit pass, again, on any bus in the system.
The transit system is more than just a way of people getting from point A to point B. Oftentimes, it's the only means of transportation for local residents, seniors, and students.
Torrance Transit now celebrates 75 years of helping people reach their destination, live out their dreams, enjoy their life, go to work, and connect with family and friends each and every day.
The celebration also included the unveiling of its commemorative wrapped bus, along with a video presentation of the department's long history. Past elected officials, current city leaders, and regional supporters were also on hand for the 1940s themed party.
And most of all, thank you to our customers. You have kept us going. You have always challenged us to continue to provide better service. And thank you for letting us serve you for 75 years.
Thanks, Megan. The new TAP cards can be used to pay fares on several county transit systems, which will soon include the Big Blue Bus.
Well, it's time for our very own Dancing with the South Bay Stars yet again, and reporter Anne-Marie Williams found a ringer in this year's charity event. Here she is with that story and a preview of the newest Spotlight Torrance.
I'm here with Chris Wolf, Executive Director of the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation, and his professional partner Larissa Bates, watching and learning what they're doing for this competition. So Chris and Larissa, let's see some of those steps.
Okay, so let's get our weight into the right foot. Your left foot's going to be free. We're taking 3 triple steps going backwards. So starting with that left foot, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 rock step. 1, 2, 3, forward, forward, and forward again, rock, step. That's it. Nice job.
Chris Wolf has been an organizer of Dancing with the South Bay Stars since the competition began 4 years ago.
For the past 3 years, my role has been as producer and host. So I would find the dancers, I would prepare or work with each couple, make sure that they had their studio time, work with promotions.
But this year, he has taken on the role of contestant.
The board asked me to do it, and I accepted, primarily because I wanted to sort of experience what I put people through every year.
A triple step, rock step, triple, triple.
Although Wolf has behind-the-scenes experience with this competition, he has made sure he has no advantage over any other contestant.
We got rid of anyone that I knew or had a relationship with and brought in new people. I am not allowed in the tabulation room the night of.
Absolutely think that he has done everything, and even more than I think he needs to, honestly, to make sure that he is absolutely on equal ground with everybody else.
Wolf and Bates are one of 12 couples who will compete in a dance style of their choice on February 7th.
So swing was chosen because we thought it was fun. We didn't want to have anything that was too sad, or, we want to bring people up and have something that was upbeat and show a different side of his personality.
And they are hoping to take home the top prize for their charity, the Food for Kids program of the Volunteer Service Center.
kids have free lunch options at schools, but once they get out of school, like on the weekends, the underprivileged don't really have a lot of options. This organization really helps to feed them.
Toe, heel 1, toe, heel 2, toe, heel 3. We're gonna win. We are gonna win this thing. I don't think there's any other attitude that we can have, so we're having fun with it, and we're just gonna give it our best.
You go around. I come out.
Gosh, you're so good. What happened? Wow.
Thanks, Anne Marie. Tune in to CitiCABLE at 1:30 and 7:30 for that episode of Spotlight Torrance, and to see who takes home this year's title at Dancing with the South Bay Stars. Be sure to tune in to the next episode of This Week in Torrance.
National Letter of Intent Day came to Torrance with several local athletes announcing their commitments to universities. From West High, two boys soccer stars, Zach McGraw and Mason Shortland, will be moving on to the NCAA ranks. McGraw is heading to West Point, and Shortland will be staying local, attending Cal State Dominguez Hills. Bishop Montgomery's Tessa Allen will be heading to prestigious Carnegie Mellon, and her teammate Natalie D'Angelo will be taking her talents to Cal Poly Pomona. Rounding out the list of local Torrance athletes are Torrance high soccer standouts Haley Noble and Annika Rodriguez. Noble will be attending Mercy College, and Annika Rodriguez will play for the UCLA Bruins in the fall.
Within the school itself, I got into the Business Honors Program, which only has 50 students. It's one of the best programs I possibly could have gone into to major in finance, and I really think that going to the school and the soccer program, it was the best opportunity that I got.
You know, my very first visit there, I just walked on the campus, I completely fell in love, and they have a really family-oriented team and stuff, and they welcomed me in there on my first visit, and it's really close to home, so that was also another reason.
For more from National Signing Day around Torrance, you can catch the Sports Desk. And speaking of the Sports Desk, here's Juan Hernandez with a preview of this week's show. Juan?
Hi there. Welcome into the Sports Desk studio. Thanks for checking in with us. This week on the show, we're going to go out to Bishop Montgomery, where last week two seniors hit a milestone in their careers. Well, this week we have another senior on the boys squad hitting a milestone of his own. You want to catch that? You're going to check us out at 4 p.m. and 9:30 every day on CitiCABLE. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Juan. Still ahead, some local events to mark on your calendar.
Why is my son having trouble in school? Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul. No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework. Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review? No. He's smart, but his mind wanders. 7 wonders of the world. Why don't you understand me? I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies, if the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier. And it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Welcome back. We hope you have your pen and paper handy. Here are a few noteworthy announcements. The City of Torrance is working to recreate their look online, and they're asking for the community's help. The city is taking the initial steps to redesign its website, hoping to create a highly functioning, responsive, intuitive, easy to use, and easy to navigate. The city is asking the community for their feedback by taking a quick survey. Visit torranceca.gov/news.htm to take the website redesign survey. The deadline to participate is Friday, February 13th. The nonprofit Simon Youth Foundation is seeking Los Angeles County applicants for their community scholarship program, awarding college scholarships to an at-risk high school students. Applications are being accepted for Delamo Fashion Center and Camarillo Premium Outlets until February 25th. Any student living within 50 miles of assigned property, which includes Delamo Fashion Center, is eligible for a one-time $1,500 scholarship. The scholarships will be awarded based on financial need, academic performance, community leadership skills, and close consideration will be given to the children that are the first in their family to pursue a post-secondary education. For more information, visit the SYF Foundation website at programs.applyist.com/SYF. March 27th is the Torrance Education Foundation Celebrate Education fundraiser. The event funds many of the Education Foundation's programs throughout the year and includes auctions and drawings for prizes. The top giveaway of the event, a 2015 Lexus NX 200T donated by Toyota. The Education Foundation's goal this year is to raise $100,000 to focus on STEM education in Torrance. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All donations benefit students at all Torrance Unified Schools. Visit Torrance Education Foundation to make your reservation today. And that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Jin Chin. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.